Hey everyone, in today's video, you are going to learn how to create different primitive objects, transforming objects, aligning them, cloning objects, and create object arrays, grouping, linking, parenting objects, and don't forget to check the bonus tip at the end of this video. So without any further ado, let's get started. Create any shape, we have different primitives in here. This is create panel. Here you have standard primitives, extended primitives, compound object. We are going to discuss everything one by one. So in this standard primitive we have box, sphere, cone, geosphere, cylinder, etc. So let's start with the box. To click on box, left mouse click, and in this space click anywhere, left click anywhere and drag your mouse and release your left mouse click. Drag your mouse upward to increase its height. Left mouse click, you have the box, and here you can see these are the segments. So if in your 3ds Max you are unable to see the segments, you just need to come over here. You have the default shading on, so go to the edge faces. Okay, select edge faces. Yeah, it's gone. Now select edge faces, it is there. So here we can also change the length, width and height. Let's keep the length to 80, the width to 60, the height to 50. In the length segment, let's change it to 5, and in the width segment, let's change it to 3, and height segment change it to 3. As you can see, we can change all the parameters from here as well. We can change the parameters for all these shapes from here as well. We just need to select any of the primitives which we want, like sphere, and just click anywhere, left mouse click anywhere in this space and just drag your mouse. Don't forget to hold the left mouse button. Don't release it until you reach your desired shape. Just hold the left mouse button and you can see you can change its radius. So let's keep it over here and release the left mouse button. You can see you can change the radius from here as well, and the segments, let's say instead of 32 we are selecting 12. So here you can see other options, many different options. Smooth, let's uncheck smooth. You can see the sphere is not smooth anymore, so check it again. And there are many different options we get in here. So likewise you can draw many different objects from these panels. So here we have many different, you can see how we can draw box and how we can draw sphere. So similarly, let's go to the extended primitives. Here you will find different few of the different names. Okay, let's start with Hedra, and click here, drag it over here. You can see the shape is created. Okay, so this is a different shape if you need for your project, so you can try this extended primitives as well. So here we have oil tanks. Let's draw, this is the base. Okay, you can see this is the oil tank. You have different primitives, but standard primitives are the base primitives from which we can make this extended primitive as well. We have the now you know how to draw standard primitives and extended primitives. Let's learn how to scale, transform and align it on different surfaces. Press Q to enable the selection tool. We have learned the scale process, transforming process in the previous video, so I am not going to tell you again in this one. You can always go back to the previous video and check it. Let's work with the align. So to align, let's say I want to align this over the top of this cube. So let's select this sphere and click over here. This is the align tool. Click and select the box again. Now you can see the pivot point of both the objects are aligning together. So you can see sphere is inside the box. So let's change these things. So you can see here we have X position, Y position. So you can define on which position you want to align the object on. So let's see minimum. So if the current object means the object we selected in the beginning, and the target object is the second object, that is the cube we selected. Let's check center and center. So you can see both are aligned center, and minimum means minimum of the object means the current object, its minimum may be over here or over here, that depend on the pivot point. And a maximum, you can see maximum it is the half. And if we select on the let's check the center of this. If we select minimum of the cube, you can see it is on the bottom of the cube. And if we check maximum of the cube, you can see it is on the top of the cube. And if you are wondering why is the sphere on the sphere half inside the cube and not on the top, exact top of the cube, it is because its center point is over here. That's why we are seeing this. And you can just see the orientation as well. You can check the orientation as well. You can scale it on the x-axis and y-axis. All these options you have got, you can check them, go play with them, and until you learn properly what are these options. Okay, I'm going to keep it over here, center to center, and press apply and okay. So just drag over the surface. Now you can see it is aligned on the center of the cube. And one more thing, you can control the viewport from here as well. You can see here is the top. Click on the top, you are on the top view. The small arrows you can see, just click over here, you are back to the back view. And then click again left view, and again front view. And on the bottom you can see the small arrow. Yeah, you can see this bottom view. If you are lost in the view panel, you want to go to the view which we had earlier, this you can see the home icon. Here you can always go to the default view which you have set. Okay, this view only, this is the perspective view. And you can rotate this viewport from here as well. Just click anywhere in these, left mouse click and drag your mouse, hold your mouse click, not click and release it. Okay, now you can see you can control your viewport orientation from here as well. Click again the home button, coming back to the original view. So one more thing, if you want to focus an object while working on different objects, you can press Z. Let's say I have selected the oil tank, so press Z. Yeah, it is now on focus, so you can work with this more effectively. So now that we learn about the aligning, let's check how we can clone the objects or create object arrays. So to clone these, suppose I want 5 copy of this oil tank, or one or a single copy. To make copy of this object, press shift key on your keyboard and drag. So you can see our object is getting cloned. Release the mouse button. Yeah, you can see a window coming up. So here we have copy instance reference. So in copy you can see we are just making a copy of this object, and later we can do changes over it. And on the instance we can change, let's say this is the instance of our object and we are cloning it, so this remains the instance of the object. So if we make changes over here, this will also change. And reference, this will act as a reference and this will act as the real object. Let's check the copy. Here we have number of copies. So if we want multiple copies like 5, we are going to get all the 5 copies on an array. Means the initial distance from the original object and the first object will repeat till it reaches the 5 number of copies. Click OK. You can see the distances are all same. Now you learn about the copying, and let's see how we can group this object. By the name you can understand that grouping means picking the object and putting them in a group. Let's say I'm going to make a group of sphere and a box. And to select multiple objects, you have to press the control key on your keyboard and left mouse click on the object you want to select, a sphere, and then click on box, and then go to the oil tank, and then go to the hydra. Okay, let's say I want to make a group of all these objects only. So to make the group of these objects, just go above. You can see we have a group panel. Okay, let's say panel, whatever you can say, group. Here just click on the group. Yeah, it is asking for the group name. I just keep it on the default name. Now all these 4 objects are in a group. If we select any of the object, all the other objects also getting selected automatically. All objects will getting transformed together. I want to scale them. all the objects getting scaled together. And now I want to make changes on a specific object in this group only. For this we have to open the group. Go to the group again and you can see open and click. We are able to select all the objects individually. Yeah, first you have the oil tank, you can make changes on that, and later you have boxes. Whatever object you want to make change to, you are free to change now. If you are done with the changing process, let's go to the group again and click on the close. Here you can see the group is closed now, so you cannot make changes individually in this group. Okay, I told you in the previous video how you can come back to the original viewport. You have mistakenly changed the view zooming, or you have lost the objects on your viewport. Just press the Z button on your keyboard. Here we have and this is the grid, and you can make it disappear too. Click on G button on your keyboard. Grid is gone. Again G. You can see the grid. It's up to you if you want to use it on your project or not. Now that we have learned about the grouping, now we are going to learn about the linking. Let's say we have this oil tank and I want to link this Hedra to the oil tank. A linking process means this object is having some motion, so like it is rotating or it is transforming. I want this to follow this object, like in the grouping as well, but you can in grouping one object cannot follow the another object's motion. In the grouping, the rotation of single object will not affect the rotation of the other objects. Let's try this by linking. Let's give it a motion. I want to link this object with the Hedra. Click on the Hedra. Click over here, select and link. Left mouse click on the surface of Hedra and drag. Don't release the left mouse button yet. And when you reach the oil tank surface, release your left mouse button, press Q, and let's hit play. You can see these two objects are linked, so you can see this will follow every motion of this object. If you know about the parenting process, you can easily understand this. This object become parent of this object, and this is the child. The Hedra is the child and oil tank is the parent. So wherever the parent goes, the child will follow. And if you want to unlink these objects, you have to select both the objects and again unlink. Now you can see our object is unlinked. Remember, you have to select both the objects and then go to the unlink tool, click over there, then your object. For redo undo, you have the same shortcuts, Ctrl Z and Ctrl Y. Okay, you know already. Ctrl Z is for the undo and Ctrl Y is for the redo. We have learned in this how to create many different primitives, transforming them in different axes, aligning. If you are wondering, I have the pivot point over here. This is by the way, we call it pivot point. You want to change the pivot point according to your needs. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how you can change the pivot point. Go over here, make sure it is blue, and later click on the affect pivot only. Click, and here you have different options: center to object, align to world, and pivot, reset pivot. Reset pivot means it will reset pivot when you import from different softwares. You can see you cannot always see the pivot point on the object itself. You can see it over anywhere in this space. Click on the reset pivot. So let's align it to the center. Click on the center of the object. You can see it is on the center of the object. Now when you are done with the altering the pivot point, click affect pivot only option, and then you have the pivot on the different point. And that's it for this tutorial. In the later part of the tutorial, we are going to discuss about the texturing, and we are going to create your first render. So don't forget to check our next video. Thank you.